for instance, a lot of therapists, they will put on their website individual therapy, as a keyword phrase, or relationship therapy, not knowing what consumers actually type, right? Or whether anyone types individual therapy. It might be the name of a class we took in graduate school, but assuming that consumers type it is potentially a dangerous assumption, right? So,
You know,
yeah,
keyword research and how do you know what keywords boost search engine optimizations is how it was asked. But I think what they're asking really is how do you know what are the right phrases to optimize
mhm,
with, right? I'll give you a couple tools. I will tell you also
sure,
this is a pretty technical question, and as a
huge,
therapist,
yeah,
we may want to actually bring on somebody who has expertise in this. But I'll tell you that Google has a pretty good tool called Keyword Planner, so you can just Google Keyword Planner, and that'll be a really good place to start. You can actually start with if your website already has pretty decent content relevant to what your niche is, you could actually put your domain in there, like your URL, and it'll basically come back suggesting to you the types of phrases that you're currently relevant to and other phrases that are also relevant to that. So that is one of the tools that we use at WebTech. But there's anybody who's good at SEO. If I was as a therapist, I would go to an agency and just do a free consult is a good place to start, because that's something that most SEO agencies will kind of offer in the early stages of
yeah,
working with a potential client, is do the keyword research and kind of show them, hey, look, here's your opportunities, here's where you're currently ranking, here's where the estimated search volumes are on each of these phrases, here's how competitive it is, so how many index pages are in Google for that phrase, and also the idea, like we mentioned earlier, about the consumer intent, like how likely are they to be
yeah,
actually looking for what you offer. But I would think the one thing
yeah,
that I think is most useful, there are those four factors are all come into play, but I think probably the one single most useful thing, I mean, assuming you know your consumer intent, is the estimated search volume. Google will tell you, like, you just mentioned relationship therapy. My guess is it's probably something more like couples counseling or
yeah,
marriage counseling or marriage therapy,
mhm.
something like that. But Google's tool will actually give you a lot of good insight.